5 minutes, maximum 10, but like really, like I'm trying to be really strict with 5 minutes.
and welcome to the pre-season race for the Formula C League with AOR at Barcelona-Catalunya at the GP circuit. It's a nice sunny day here, although I've heard complaints about the track being a little bit cold. I'm joined in the commentary box by my good friend, teammate and decisively average person, JP McKinley.
Hi there, pleasure to be here. Not sure about the intro, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's good to be back, good to be in the comms box with you, and looking forward to a good couple of races here today. Obviously we're starting off with a 15-minute qualifying session, which will lead on to a standing start 12-lap sprint race. Following that, there will be a reverse top 10 from that sprint race for a 24-lap feature race, which is going to be very interesting to see some of the top guys have to work their way through the field. What are your expectations today? Who's your money on going into this, not knowing how people can drive these Formula C cars?
Well, I know that Strongest Avenger had the GT3 Season 16 championship stolen from him at the very death in Fuji, so I am expecting him to put up a good fight for this championship, or at least a strong result for the pre-season testing anyways. Jorgert always goes well in pretty much any car, any track, so I'd say it's going to be one of them two doing well tonight, but you never know. Anyone could really click with these cars and just absolutely blow anyone out of the water. You just never know.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few other names here like Asturbo and Speedy Go, both are very competent when it comes to Project Cars 2. Always up near the top of the standings, so looking forward to a very good race here tonight. As we enter qualifying with nearly 30 minutes remaining, following Big Wilk. It's a name that I'm not actually familiar with Project Cars 2. There's several that we are from previous leagues that we've raced in, but Big Wilk is one of those guys. He may be as fast as the other boys, so we'll have to wait and see how he gets on.
Yeah, the information is very little that I know about Big Wing, but we'll see what kind of laps he can do at the beginning to see where we expect him to be in the races and in qualifying.
Yeah, as we see him come around now, the turn 13 into the chicane to start his flying lap. Let's see how he gets on here.
He's got a bit of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, it's just a bit of slipstream for the main straight by the looks of it. I think there's enough of a gap there for him not to be too disturbed coming around the corners. Hopefully they've got the pace to stay ahead. There's Clank, who we know, a fellow Celtic Bromance teammate. We know he's definitely got pace when it comes to racing these things, so sure there's not going to be in the way there. As we come hurtling down towards turn 1 here, heavy braking zone for the right-hander. The sweeping left and then the long right-hander which just burns the left-hand tyres. It'll be interesting to see if tyre management comes into play at all with these 12 and 24 lap races.
I can't see it being much of an issue in the sprint race, but it could possibly come into effect in the main feature race, especially with some of the quick guys, because they'll be wanting to be as aggressive as they can on every lap, and that'll burn them out even more. Yeah, we know Jorgert's driving style is that aggressive, slidey sort of style, so we'll have to see whether that affects his pace later on in the race when it comes to tyre management at all. Speaking of Jorgert, he just set the current fastest lap of a 1:44.8, tops the timesheet so far. Almost, very good time there. We're expecting, they did in time trials 1:43, both Jorgert and Strongest Avenger managed, so there could be a few tenths to come off there. Obviously track conditions are a bit different here than in time trials, so that may be the pace that we're aiming for, is the mid 44s. We'll have to wait and see what else they can do with the 10 minutes left of qualifying here. Strongest looking to make a gap. Strongest Avenger going slow. Yeah, it's coming into the last sector here, so he's probably just trying to find a gap that he can set a decent time in now. Obviously expecting to go a lot faster than the other guys, so he wants a good gap, get his tyres warm leading up to the last few corners and see what sort of lap time he can do. Because currently sitting... He hasn't set a time yet. He hasn't set a time yet, you're correct. I was looking down the timesheet and there he was down in P16, which just got taken away from, so he's not set a time yet. So we see Speedy Go now, coming round.
to the chicane. We'll see what lap time again. Another strong contender today.
He's a bit wide there, but he managed to gather the final apex on the chicane. He's just flat out round that corner. Let's see where it places him.
That is going to be maybe an invalid lap because he didn't move anywhere.
Yeah.
So track limits in this game are... It's a contentious point, track limits in Project Cars 2, let's just put it that way. They can often end races in the worst kind of way, so see how he gets on his next lap now.
Yeah, we'll stick on board, we'll watch him and see how he gets on for this lap. Definitely using all the track, he's definitely attacking. Whoa, he's a huge moment!
Yeah, a bit wobbly there, that was unfortunate, so definitely not going to want this as his flying lap. The Yogurt is already 2 seconds ahead of the next fastest guy. We'll see Strongest Avenger yet to set a time. But 1:44.4 now is the target. He's knocked 4/10 off his previous time. Yogurt.
Yeah. Speedy Go actually has damage to his front wing, if you can see there.
It's not showing on mine, but it's quite possible that he does.
Yeah.
I say welcome to everyone watching today. Glad to see you here and still supporting Apex and supporting Project Cars 2. Hope you're looking forward to this as much as we are.
Yeah, welcome along. Hope you enjoy the stream. We'll do our best to provide as much action as possible.
Yes we will.
And make it as watchable.
To Speedy Go now. I don't think this is going to be a flying lap with that sketchy moment around turn 4. Can't see him putting up a big time here.
We'll see where it puts him anyways.
Tenth place, by the looks of it. Yeah, 150.9, so not really what he's looking for, I don't think. But Strongest Avenger's time currently is 2 seconds down on Yogurt, so got a lot of pace to try and find as he meets traffic here now. Is he going to get out of the way? Are they both on the lap? He is up on his time, but whether Crab in front of him is on a lap, it may not. He doesn't have to yield like qualifying is. The guy in front has priority, so Strongest didn't leave the space. Yeah. So if Crab wasn't on the lap, he would have to yield, but by the looks of it, he is, because Strongest is being held up. He's decided to abandon that lap. Rightly so, to try and leave a gap now. He's got a lot of space behind him on track, so he can drop back into there and give it another shot. Dead one, we really hope that Yogurt is not cheating, but we do know he is just legitimately a very fast guy.
I wonder if he ever gets bored of being called ridiculously like alien, because no matter what car, what track, he is just on it every race.
He knows how to get the most out of these cars, especially in Project Cars 2. He is one of the fastest guys to race on this game in general, not just in AOR, just in the entire game. He is one of the fastest guys on track. Waffa, this is Project Cars 2. It's getting on now, but it still provides some great racing and some great on-track action, so should be a good one to watch today. If anyone missed it, we got qualifying now with 6 minutes remaining. We'll have a 12-lap sprint race with a standing start, and then a 24-lap reverse top 10 from the sprint race for the feature race.
That's Turbo now on a lap. Oh, a huge drifting moment there, but he's on a lap, and he was through the last sector. He was 4/10 up on his time.
Shows you with his timesheet, yeah, 4/10 up would put him just into P5 at the moment, but we'll see if he managed to gain anything in that last sector. But it did look a bit sketchy. To see if he's managed to improve here now.
It's a long run to the line.
It is indeed, and he does. He goes above WRC Animal there by 7/10. Good improvement there.
Yeah, Yogurt at the moment has a huge gap to Clank, or to Crab, sorry, but the top from 2 to 5th, that's a pretty tight battle, like all covered by a second.
Yeah, definitely, looking to be some great action there. Obviously another name that we don't recognise is it Dunder? I believe it is in P4. We'll have to see how he gets on, because it's not someone that we've seen before race, so hopefully he can throw a bit of action in there with some of these fast, long-time citizens of AOR. So, as mentioned before, Strongest Avenger was just pipped at the last race for the GT3. It's a WMDR Martin there.
Doing a bit of rallycross.
Yeah, I'm not sure these cars were designed for that, but he's given it his best shot.
Well, he was complaining before the qualifying that he was suffering from a bit of oversteer. So maybe the track temperature's just not suiting him, and he is still basically setting the car up as he has another huge slide and almost goes to the inside wall. Oh, Martin, you do stress me at times.
He does indeed, but obviously not on a lap there, so he just needs to get it together now, get the tyres back to where they need to be. As Big Wilk there going wide behind Martin, it's going to ruin his lap and be an invalid lap. But Strongest has improved, put himself onto P2 now, but he's still 1.8 off Yogurk's pace, which is a long way to be down, especially just under 4 minutes left of qualifying. Strongest is going to have to find some pace from somewhere.
I think everyone's going to have to try and find some pace. But that's the best thing about today is it's a practice session, basically. It's there's no points for winning or losing today, so this is all the big learning curve for everyone. At least everyone knows where the time is, because if Yogurt can do it, then there is time on the table to be got.
There is indeed. Obviously this is open setups for these races, so drivers are free to set these cars up as they like. So we know Yogurt's fast anyway. Yogurt, with his race engineer knowledge, is going to be even faster again. So see if any of these guys can pull out the perfect setup for the race coming up. Is it Keyboard Blondie now coming into the last sector?
Yeah, I think he's on an outlap because he was 12 seconds down on his last lap. He's struggling with turning there. You can see him feathering the throttle.
Yeah, these cars don't seem the easiest to drive, to be honest. A lot of people, they said before the race that the track's very cold today, so struggling with grip in a lot of places. But it's the same for everyone, and like we said before, Yogurt's found the pace from somewhere, but maybe that just is because this suits him when it's a bit more slidey and he can get the car a bit more drifting underneath him.
He does love drifting. I remember in the practice sessions for the GT3 season, he would I would be like doing my best to just do laps and like try and like be consistent, where he'd be like drifting and he'd be like slowly like catching up to me and overtaking me as he was drifting every corner. And I was like, that's just how quick he is.
He is ridiculous as he's in the pits now, so I think he's settled for his 144.48. It's up to everyone else now to see if they can beat it, as Keyboard Blondie does not seem to be improving on their time today.
Clank now, Celtic Romance he's representing, comes around the final turn. Is this an outlap or is it an actual timed lap?
Yeah, he's sitting in P16 at the moment. Let's see where he manages to get to. P14 it looked like there, so he's jumped 2 places there with that lap. He's still got time for one more, so we'll see how he gets on here now.
And the coordinator of the Formula C, Ticklish Pickle Wickle.
The beautiful name that is.
Yeah. It's like a tongue twister. You gotta love it.
It is.
Is he winding up now for a final lap?
Yeah,
let's have a look.
Last chance now. He's very close to the car in front there, so hopefully, I'm not sure who that is in front. It's WRC Animal. So they're both very similar times, so shouldn't hold them up too badly. The last 30 seconds now. These cars down the straight will be able to start their final laps.
Keyboard Blondie, you gotta get there as well.
Yep, 17 seconds safely in there for another lap.
See where Asturbo is.
A few cars head to the pits now as well. They're happy with their times, or they've messed up the last laps. So see if Crab and Strongest can jostle for position. It's only 1/10.5 between the two of them for second and third. See what they can do now It's Crab now coming into the
Crab
hairpin,
is
into the
6/10
final
down. sector.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him, is it? That's Strongest just ahead of him, I believe. Oh no, that's Strongest other side of the track. The timings on the screen are very wrong. It says people are 2 minutes ahead or behind. I suppose that's relative to where they are in qualifying, not on the track, unfortunately.
Yeah. Can Strongest, is he going to be up on his time as he crosses the timing sector? Let's have a look. Oh, he's
Very
pretty
close.
even on his fastest lap.
Very close, yes. All the pressure. Well, there's no pressure on him now to beat Crab because Crab is now in the pits, so he's got at least P2. He's got to somehow find 1.8 seconds in this final sector to jump Yogurt for P1. Can't see it happening, but best of luck to him.
I mean, as good as he is, I can't see that happening.
And that's very wide. I think he's
wide.
given up on that lap there because I don't think he's going to get away with that in the track limits. Comes over the line. Does he improve at all? No, he stays on his 146.3.
Juni
on an in lap there.
Ticklish.
There's P8. Seems to improve, and a few people just having fun over the line there. But I don't believe they're going to improve on their times. A speedy go.
Keyboard Blondie. And
Let's
that.
Blondie. And now we get to look at a red wall. Thanks. So, qualifying, as expected, it was a very close one apart from Yogurt managed to run away with a 1.8 second lead to Strongest Avenger. Crab picking up P3 and Dunder in P4. Followed by Speedy Go and Ass Turbo, WRC Animal, Ticklish Pickwickle, Uni and WMDR Martin.
And then in 11th place we got Darefile, and 12th we have I'm gonna have to guess what that name is. I'm gonna say it's Carey, maybe Stephen Carey.
Yeah, Carey's in P12, yep.
And then we've got Emma.
Enema, followed by
Enema.
Clank.
Clank, followed by Big Wig, and then we got Keyboard Blondie in 16th. 17th we have Mr. Ferret, another Celtic Romance. We got Boris. I didn't realize he did this racing, but there he is, Boris in P18. JJ in 19th, and Cameron B, and last but not least, 20th.
A good grid today, 20 drivers lining up for this 12-lap sprint race. It will be a standing start, so they will be going on the green lights. And they're fighting for basically starting order in the feature race, which will be 24 laps with a reverse top 10 from this sprint race. I think after that qualifying, your money has to be on Yogurt to win this with that sort of pace that he's got going. But the rest of the field's looking very close, with Crab and Strongest just being a 1/10.5 between them in qualifying. So definitely a lot of battles to look forward to here.
If Yogurt can get off the line and get around turn 1, I think he very likely could walk away with this. But then again, you never know what Strongest is going to get. He could learn a lot from just being behind Yogurt and just have the pace straight away, because Strongest is ridiculously quick. But we don't know what's going to happen in turn 1. It's, I mean, it's open wheeled, so it could be carnage, or everyone could get through cleanly. We just never know.
Yeah, they should have tyre warmers, so this may be the best tyres they have during the race with the cold conditions. So hopefully they can survive turn 1 as the engines are starting up now. Getting ready to start the race. And
here we go.
Go!
Racing! Yogurt having a good start.
Yeah.
He's Strongest there. There's no contact yet. Everyone's suited cleanly.
Oh,
Looks
there's
like
contact
Crab
there
and
between Crab and
Strongest.
Strongest, but Yogurt's in first, followed by Strongest behind him. And Crab follows up in P3, so the first 3 are through in the same order. Everyone seems to be getting through cleanly, which is good to see.
Yeah. Looks pretty clean so far, which is great.
Again, a great start by Yogurt. He defended that well into turn 1. Looking to just run away with it now as Dunder goes very wide there. Oh, there's someone's off. Who's that? Is that Strongest or was that Crab? That's Crab.
Crab went off and hit the inside wall.
Yeah, as he's down to P6 now. Wonder if he picked up damage from that. So
he's going to be defending for his life. He just want to be swallowed by the pack here.
Very unfortunate start there by Crab. It looked like he lost it on his own. I didn't see anyone around him, so see now if he can fight his way back up towards the lead pack. There's Big Wilk there on the inside of Ticklish Fickle Wickle.
Ticklish going side by side, almost through.
Yeah, Ticklish has the better line through there and managed to keep his place as they come down towards the hairpin. Will Big Wilk look down the inside? He
will he have
out.
a look?
At the braking,
he's going to have a look.
Has the inside line? I think he gave up too much there. He gave Ticklish way too much space, but he's still got the position as Ticklish gives the space back into the next corner. To get up around
he's
the
done it around
right
the
hand.
inside.
He's done it on the outside on the big right-hander.
But Ticklish is going to have a look on the inside. The turn 13, but he's backed out of it. Oh, this is going to be a spicy race to the end.
Over the sausage curve there, it's not great, but he still managed to hold his position. As Ticklish now has to defend with a poor exit. He's going to defend from Clank down the straight. And that's also, I believe, it's Keyboard Blondie, who's off on the gravel. Not sure if that was lag there, he seemed to teleport back on, but they're going again. But very entertaining first lap there. Good battle by Big Wilk and Ticklish. Very fair, very good racing.
Clank trying to have a look to try and spook Ticklish, but Ticklish making sure he kept the position to turn 1.
See the grid starts to spread out a bit now, everyone's settling into their positions. Dunder now putting a lot of pressure under WRC Animal and push him into a mistake.
And look at the gap after 1 lap that Yogurt has pulled. It's almost 3 seconds already, after a lap and a half.
Yeah, and it's not as if Strongest is under any pressure as well. He's got a 2-second gap, so that is just Yogurt's pure pace just pulling away from Strongest Avenger right now. As people are taking that corner very wide there around turn 9. No one looking to make any moves here, just some good clean racing for now. Kind of probe for weakness, see where they can start making a move, just wait for the mistake of the car in front.
It's all pretty snake-like at the minute.
We do see a bit wide there by WRC Animal, but it's very hard to overtake here when you just defend into the next corner there.
Oh, Dunder's got to move right in this slipstream now. As WRC Animal does his best to weave down the street. Not very gentlemanly like, but it's legal until before you're in the braking zone.
See the slipstream effect now. Can Dunder get enough into turn 1? Doesn't look like it. He's staying tucked in behind WRC. But Speedy Go had a look, but it's too far back there. See if Dunder can get him on the next lap or any other time during this lap. He is putting a lot of pressure, but he's also under a lot of pressure from Speedy Go, who goes very wide there around turn 3.
Speedy Go tried to take a wider line to carry more speed round to get up to turn 4.
Oh, Dunder's off.
That was a huge moment.
Didn't really see what happened then. It looked like
I think he just had a snap of oversteer, and then as he corrected it, he just took him off into the gravel.
Yeah, very unfortunate there by Dunder. It looked like it was driver error, but he's kept out of the barrier and he's going again. Dropped down to P8 there now, so he's lost a few positions unfortunately. It looks like we have one person in the pits at the moment, so I'm not sure who that is.
That's JJ.
JJ. Fortunate for him to be in the pits. It's not what you want to see in a sprint race.
It was 12 laps. If you pit, it's pretty much game over. Unfortunately, he must have had huge damage that we missed when he had to pit.
Yeah, definitely. What will be interesting to see now, though, is the battle for P10, because obviously whoever finishes P10 in this race will be P1 the next race. But if you finish P11, you're starting 11th for the next race, so it's a huge jump in grid order for getting that 10th place spot, and it looks like Big Wilk and Stephen Carey are the ones that are battling over that spot right now.
And if I remember correctly, I remember seeing 9th place WMDO Martin and Stephen Carey, who's in 11th. They are actually planning on being teammates for this. So
yeah,
this
see if
could
there's
get
any
spicy
team driving going on there, or whether Martin just wants to secure his place on the front row of the grid next race and leave Stephen Carey to fend for himself.
Well, I know me and you would do it, but I don't know if anybody else would do it.
Oh, but Big Wilk just had a wide there at turn 2, but he keeps it on the tarmac afterwards, so doesn't lose any time there really to Stephen Carey, who's now a second behind, just outside of slipstream range there. You see Clank now closing down on Stephen Carey, so it looks like he's got to do more defending than attacking, which is not where he wants to be.
Yeah, Clank now actually putting in a good fastest first sector of his to get it right onto the back of Stephen Carey. But look at the gap that the leader has already. Jorg out in the world of his own.
He is 5 seconds ahead by lap 4, about to start lap 5. He's putting over a second a lap into Strongest Avenger, who we know is not a slow driver. It's just unbelievable the pace that Jorg actually has on this game.
And Speedy Go is up to 3rd.
He is indeed. He's in front of As Turbo, and WRC Animal seems to have dropped back a few positions. I'm not sure whether that was through pace or a mistake, but he has dropped back now to P5.
Well, I know Speedy Go and As Turbo were pretty much the same speed, so they will have a pretty nice battle towards the end of this race.
Will be good to watch.
Speedy Go
on lap 5 now, nearly halfway through the race.
Look at the battle for P8.
That is a huge train of cars there. It's classic Barcelona. Just a train of cars slipstreaming down into turn 1. With, I think it's Dunder's the one leading that pack, followed by WMDR Martin.
Yeah, and then Bigwig, and then we've got Stefan Carey and Clank, Ticklish. So many good drivers here, all battling it out for trying to get on the front row for the next race.
Yeah, that's what's important here for these guys, is trying to secure that top 10 position. Carey is now in. I'm not sure who dropped out of the top 10, but Carey is now in the top 10. So it's a good result for him. He's still behind Big Wilk, so it wasn't him that he overtakes. And someone's off there. Who's that off?
That's Bigwig.
That is Big Wilk, so there's another position. Which puts Clank into that elusive P10 slot now. But
that's the prize seat. That is where you want to be. P10.
It is indeed.
Because it is so hard to overtake at Barcelona. So if you could finish P10 and then grab pole, and then you could just hopefully just get the doors open, even though there are no doors in these cars. But just make the cars wide as possible, and just defend for the entire feature race. You could get a really good result, even if Jorg does pass you, which you could possibly happen.
We saw that happen a lot in the GT3 leagues before, when we had reverse championship order. Some people that were low tier in the table managed to get podium results just because of the reverse grid, and that's in an hour-long race. The 24 laps shouldn't be that long. In fact, it will be quite a long race, 24 laps to be fair. Doing 145s.
Look at the battle. You got Clank, Ticklish, and WMD Martin. Ticklish having a look. Clank defending. Clank's going to hang him out, and just get the. Oh, Ticklish having a look up around turn 3. They're going 2 by 2. Side by side.
Yep, Ticklish going to have the run down the inside now, as Clank is should have the better line, but Ticklish is already there.
And now Stephen Carey's behind.
Now Stephen Carey's going to look down the inside of Clank. Clank's going to lose 2 positions in 2 corners here if he's not careful, and he's got the inside. It's going to be contact.
They're so close.
Excellent driving there. Stephen Carey ends up having a bit of a wobbly out the corner and has to concede the position there to Clank, but that was some amazing drive by these 3 guys. Some clean racing, close racing, which is what we want to see as they head up now towards turn 9. It's Ticklish, followed by Clank, followed by Stephen Carey.
What a great advertisement for AOR.
It is indeed. This is exactly the stuff I want to see, as Clank now looks down the inside into the hairpin at the start of sector 3, but decides against it, tucks back in. Doesn't want to try too much, that ends up costing a position to Stephen Carey behind. As both of them get a bit wobbly there out of the hairpin. Head up around the long turn 12. A lot of long right-handers on this track. Be interesting to hear from the drivers about whether the left tyres are struggling at all around here, even on this short 12-lap race.
Yeah, I think the drivers, that'll be actually one thing that they will be liking, that it's cooler temperatures, because the left tyres won't be overheating as much, even though they are still getting punished.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot less than if they're in baking heat even. You see Clank now, can't seem to make a move into turn 1, tucks back in again behind Ticklish, so struggling to get around here. Can't really echo what Ticklish did to him the previous lap. Has to settle at the moment for P10, but like we said, Stephen Carey does not want to be finishing P11 here. He's going to be fighting now as we've gone over the halfway point.
As Clank goes slightly wider, and Carey's going to have a look up the inside. He's going to have a better run down turn 5. But
he's got closer, but not close enough. Clank's going to hold that off there. So again, it's very hard to. Someone else has gone off there. Who's that off?
Dunder's gone off.
That's Dunder off. So Dunder has now lost his top 10 place. He's now in P12, unfortunately. A couple of instances he's had this race, which has cost him dearly. He was up in the, I believe, top 5 earlier.
Sorry to interrupt, but Clank just touched the grass, and now Carey's all over him again. Clank touched the grass coming out of turn 7, and Carey was able to get it right onto him, but I don't think he's going to be making any moves. He just can't. Clank goes deep, and Carey had a wobbly as well, but Carey's going to go up the inside.
Yeah, he makes
Can he make it around the inside? Well, Clank carry it back. Carey, is he going to hang on to around the outside, or will Clank get the inside? They're side by side everywhere.
Amazing racecraft by these guys to not touch each other and keep it fair and clean.
And now Clank is under huge pressure by Bigwig and Dunder. They're all like seriously in the substream. Clank defending for his life here, trying to steal some of the substream off Carey. They've all slipstream right up back to Carey. It's going to be almost 3 wide going into turn 1. As what a move by Big Wiggle, as he actually overtakes 2 people into turn 1.
That's Dunder gone off again, but Big Wilk gets 2 positions for the price of 1 there, and Clank also managing to jump back over Stephen Carey, so it's all to play for now. Only 2 of these guys in this pack of 4 will get the top 2 spots in the next race. It's very hard racing, but so clean by these guys. It's impressive how close they can get and still not crash into each other and keep it on the track. Stephen Carey locks up there, heading into turn 5.
We're going to jump back up to P3 and P4 as Ass Turbo was finally caught up to Speedy Go. He's going to be all over him now as he's going to start this lap.
Said these guys very close in pace, so this is going to go all the way to the end of the race here.
Ass Turbo now will be in the slipstream of Speedy Go as Speedy Go tries to defend down the straight. They're weaving left and right. Ass Turbo is in the mood for P3. He wants the podium. Will he have a look? He's looking, but he decides better to pull out and let Speedy have it for the time being. There's still 3 laps to go. Ass Turbo taking a wider line into turn 3 than Speedy Go. Speedy Go wants to hold inside to make sure he doesn't get a run, but that's costing him speed down the straight towards turn 4. Ass Turbo is absolutely determined to get the podium.
Yeah, Speedy Go's doing a good job here. Just you don't want to over defend, because if you over defend, then Ass Turbo can punish that heavily. You need to defend just enough while also staying as close to the racing line as you can to just carry the speed through. Obviously Barcelona is hard enough to overtake on a good day. You don't want to over defend and make it a bit easier for the guy behind you. But Speedy Go doing a great job here defending from Ass Turbo. He's keeping the car exactly where it needs to be to just not give Ass Turbo any chance of getting by him.
It is very hard to overtake here, but These boys seem to make it look as if. And who's that off? That's the back off. I think that's JJ.
Yeah, I believe that's JJ. It's either JJ or Cameron's car, I believe. But back marker, and hope didn't interrupt this battle here we have for P3, which is still gonna go on to the wire. Only 2 tenths between them as Speedy go again, weaving down the start finish straight, trying to break that toe from As Turbo. But diving again to the inside. As Turbo seems to have more of a run this time.
They're side by side on the turn and going into turn 1, but Speedy go, he does have the inside.
Can he hold
As Turbo tries to get the cut for turn 2. He's going to go around the outside of turn 3. I don't know if he can hold it. He's right on the gearbox, heading up to turn 4.
I think he had to lift that. I think he had to actually lift out of that. I think he had too much of a run on Speedy Go in turn 3, but into turn 4, around the outside again, Speedy Go over defending. Like I said before, he over defended, and As Turbo gets the gun on the outside. Around the outside, around turn 4, As Turbo up to P3, and that is a sealed deal there. It's a great move by As Turbo. A bit wobbly out of this corner. Speedy Go get a move back.
Speedy Go will be loving here.
Oh, contact! As Turbo's safe, but Speedy Go's lost it. Oh, it's not what I wanted to see. Speedy Go back going again. That's unfortunate. Holds his P4. Luckily they had a big enough gap, but that's going so well. Doesn't look like his car's damaged too badly. His front wing's still there, which is what you need.
Yeah, but now you got WRC Animal right there behind him. He lost almost 10 seconds in that spin.
Yeah,
he's had a moment. Ugh.
Doesn't seem to be able to control the car like he was before, because he may have an issue with it. But that was some great racing up until that point, and a great move by As Turbo to get the car in front, but Speedy Go, unfortunately, I believe that was all on him. From what I saw, he was the car behind trailing, and he just nudged the back of As Turbo and put himself into a spin.
Yeah, that's really unlucky for him. It was such a great battle to watch up until then, but has WRC Animal got, he's getting the slipstream, but is he close enough here? A Speedy Go lost straight line speed? It certainly looks that way.
Yeah, a bit of a weave to defend, but nice to hold the position there as he pulls straight in front of WRC Animal, but holds the position well, still in P4. It looks like he's still got enough pace by the looks of that straight there. It's just round the corners, they may have lost a bit of downforce on the front. That contact.
And Crab and Ticklish have all started to catch, WRC and Animal have, and Crab have started to catch up.
Yeah, looks like Speedy Go's actually pulling a gap again now since turn 1.
Yeah.
WRC was on his bumper. What's the battle looking like for P10? Clank's down at P11 now. He's back out of that top 10 contention. He's still right
Barry
behind Stephen Carey.
Big Wink is a 9th.
Yeah, Big Wink.
Clank is back on the gearbox. Big Wink.
But for
what a battle for P10.
It is indeed. Those just joined us, this battle for P10 is important because the next race is reverse grid, but only for the top 10 finishers of this race. So if you finish P11, you're starting P11 in the next race. If you finish P10, you're starting P1 in the next race. And this right here is the battle for that P10 spot, with Stephen Carey leading Clank, heading into the final sector. Just one lap to go after this. Yogurt's already started the last lap as he heads into turn 1. So we'll have
can our fellow Celtic Romance driver do it? Can he steal it with 1 lap remaining?
It's all to play for. He's definitely got the pace to do it. It's just whether he can find the place to overtake him. Stephen Carey, obviously a very good driver. So obviously locks up into the chicane.
Up on the clock. He's going to be right on him here. He's going to be right in the slipstream.
To head down, start the final lap. This battle for P10 really going to get spicy now for this final lap. Obviously no one's to take each other out, otherwise they're both going to miss out as Clank pulls right to the inside. Stephen Carey staying on his outside line, and Clank's got him. Clank's just got it done on the straights. That lockup by Stephen Carey into the last chicane really made him suffer on that start-finish straight there. So Stephen Carey, does he have a response in this final lap?
I don't think so. Clank's starting to pull a gap. There's not really much places you can overtake here now after that error.
So it's going to have to be a the error from Clank for him to lose a position here now. As we see Yogurt.
And across the line comes the winner of the sprint race, Yogurt. What an exceptional drive. We didn't get to see much of him because it was, well, he started pole and walked away with it.
He did indeed. He does what Yogurt does best. He did pull a 15-second gap there to Strongest Avenger, who's just about to come over the line in P2. Did a great drive by him, managed to pull a huge gap from As Turbo too, so quite spread out at the top end of it, but the big battle now is in the midfield as we see the battle for P4. Doesn't really seem like there is going to be a battle for P4 unfortunately. See Crab taking that position.
Speedy Go, WRC Animal. What a great race.
That was a fantastic race. Ticklish aiming for his P7 now, coming around the final corner. But what's happening with Clank and Carey? But Clank secured it. Clank has held on to that P10 for that final lap. Can Carey hold on to his P11 here?
Seriously under pressure from Dunn. Dunn does have a time penalty, but that is seriously, I was seriously close by Carey.
That was indeed, but amazing drive there by Clank to gain that position at the end to secure himself the pole position for this next race. As is tradition at the end of the race, there is a pile up around turn 1. Luckily none of these guys need to pay for damages on these cars.
What a fantastic race. And there's Cameron coming across the line in 16th. Anima coming across the line now, 17th.
A few of these guys not having the race they wanted, unfortunately. Mr. Ferret still trucking on. Or not so much as time ticks down for the end of the race. So a winner, Yogurt, by a fair margin of nearly 19 seconds in front of Strongest Avenger, followed by As Turbo claiming that third spot after the contact with Speedy Go, which I don't believe was As Turbo's fault, to be honest. Followed by Crab, managed to snatch that P4 from Speedy Go, who finishes P5. Followed by WRC Animal, followed by Ticklish Pickle Wickle in P7, WMDR Martin P8, Big Wilk P9, and Clank with that overtake on the last lap to claim that P10 and that podium spot for the pole position spot in our next race.
And then the P11th, you'll have a very disgruntled Stefan Carey for missing out in the P10. Then we got Dunder 12th, who had a lot of incidents in that race. He's quick, but he just made a bit too many mistakes. And you got Keitapur Blondie in 13th, Daryl File 14th, Boris 15th, Cameron B 16th, Enema 17th, Mr. Ferret 18th, Uni 19th, and JJ, who actually pitted during the race, as well as Uni, who pitted as well, in 20th, JJ.
Yeah, obviously a sprint race, pitting is not where you want to be. I'm unsure if we're going to have interviews between these races. It doesn't look like anyone's ready for an interview right now, so...
I don't think so. I think we're just going to have a 5-minute break, and then we're going to go straight into the feature race. So I think there's more like a driver break more than an interview break.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be the case, but...
These guys need to keep focused. They can't be talking to us two silly people.
Some great racing in that first race though. We saw amazing battles, 3 wide, 2 wide, which you don't expect at Barcelona, but these guys made it happen and it was a very entertaining race 1.
Yeah, it was proper great to see. I think the only incident that was unfortunate was the Speedy Go and As Turbo at turn 7 in the braking zone, where Speedy Go just slightly missed his braking zone and bumped into the back of As Turbo. But fortunately, no one really suffered from that. Like they still kept their positions.
Yeah, Speedy Go I think lost to Crab at the end, but it was
Yeah.
a great battle to see until that point. I think Asturbo had a great move on him to gain that position in the first place. But yeah, we'll see if they can repeat that in the next race. They're going to be starting near each other still, even with the reverse grid. They're going to be right next to each other, or right in front of each other even. But I think on the stream we'll also take a few minutes break, and we'll be back when the racing starts for the reverse grid race for the top 10, which will hopefully be within the next 5 minutes. So we'll be back in 5 minutes times, guys.
Well, see you soon.
welcome back to the pre-season of the AOR Project Cars 2 Formula C League. We are currently at Barcelona-Catalunya, going into the race 2 after a fantastic race 1. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the calendar coming up for this league. So as you can see, we're starting at Barcelona-Catalunya, which is today, 2nd of June. Next week we'll be at Ruapuna Park GP, followed by Monza GP. Then we'll go to Austria for the Red Bull Ring GP. Over to the UK for Silverstone, followed by Brands Hatch the week after. And finally at Hockenheim for the final round. Which one are you looking forward to mostly, JP?
Say, I'd be mostly looking forward to Rapuna, the season opener. I really like that track for some reason. But yeah, I think Monza could actually be pretty good as well because there's lots of slipstreaming. As long as you don't fall out of the slipstream, I think there could be lots of position changes throughout the race. So probably the first 2 rounds would be my 2 favourites anyways.
Yeah, as we saw here today, going into that turn 1 with Clank making the move on Stephen Carey, the slipstream is quite good in these cars. But we'll have to see how they get on there, as we will jump back now to the action in the game as we get ready for the rolling start of this race, as it is reverse grid. So for people who are unaware of the AOR rolling start, we'll give a brief overview now. Basically, the cars will get themselves into the order, which is going to be reverse top 10 of the previous race. So we'll see Clank on pole position, who finished 10th in the last race, and we'll see Yogurt starting in 10th place as he won the last race. The remaining drivers will be in the order that they finished, so they won't be going on green now. They'll be stationary until they get going.
Yeah, they'll just select first gear, pull off to the side, and then the chosen ones, if you want to call it that, will make their way to the front and form an orderly queue at the end of sector 1.
Yep, and after they
right now
take the drivers round, so Clank will lead the way as our P10 finisher from the previous race. And once this all happens, it will be basically like a normal rolling start that you see in any other race. They'll go single file, warm their tyres up, do what they need to do, and then they will get 2 by 2 in the last sector before going green whenever Clank decides to do so, down start finish straight over the grid markings. But downside of this is tyre pressures do drop out the car so much while trying to warm them up here, as Martin taking a bit of a risk there around turn 1 and nearly ending Big Works race before they started.
Very close. That was ridiculously close. That definitely would have scared him.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to do that, did he? As, we're waiting now for all these drivers. They'll be forming up now at the end of the sector 1, so Clank will stop now. So Clank will be in pole, Big Wilk starting P2, WMDR Martin has got P3, Ticklish Picklewickle P4, WRC Animal starting P5, Speedy Go after their unfortunate contact with Asturbo is starting P6, Crab starting P7, then Asturbo, who did a brilliant overtake on Speedy Go initially, but unfortunately the contact after knocked Speedy Go down a bit. Asturbo starting in P8. Strongest Avenger, who just had a solid race, no troubles, just got in P2. Yogurt disappeared up the road, and Strongest Avenger disappeared up the road from P3. And then Yogurt, who managed to finish the race 15 seconds ahead of Strongest Avenger, starting P10. But he's got 24 laps to get it done, and knowing Yogurt, I'm pretty sure he's going to get that done. But it'll be interesting to see how long drivers like Strongest Avenger and Asturbo can actually keep him behind. So we have a very interesting camera view there of Stephen Carey. I like this camera.
Yeah.
Not one I've ever seen before.
He doesn't like his engine. He's absolutely revving it. But yeah, now that Strongest Avenger is actually ahead of Yogurt on the road, it'll be interesting to see if he can try and defend from Yogurt for the 24 laps and just try and hold them up for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yogurt being able to just lead from pole to flag in the previous race. Let's see how he can handle traffic 9 cars ahead of him at the start of this race. Go through the rest of the grid now. So Stephen Carey, unfortunately, got overtaken by Clank going into the last lap. As losing that top 10 position, now has to start P11. And then we have Dunder, who had a very unfortunate race, a few spins, has put himself into P12. And then we've got Keyboard, Blondie sat in P13, and then Daya, we started P14. And we got Boris, hopefully not Boris Johnson, we're hoping he's doing more than sim racing on a Wednesday night. Followed by Cameron B, and Enema, followed by Mr. Ferret, and Uni, and JJ leading up the rear. Uni and JJ seem to have damage on that last race, being forced into the pit stops. We know these guys have a lot more pace in them than the positions they're in, so see if they can make up positions in this race.
Yeah, every driver now just coming around on the formation lap, set to a certain speed, dictated by Clank. They'll be all just wanting to get their tyres and brakes up to temperatures as best they can before they start the flying laps. Because here we go now, there's 2x2. This is where people start to panic, the hearts start racing, you get the sweaty palms. Oh, there's contact. That was weird.
That was very weird.
Top two.
But, should be okay. Everyone seems to be getting around fine.
Through. Now the start of the race will be dictated by the leader. So when he decides to go, it's entirely down to him.
Put the foot down anytime he wants now to start this race, and the cars behind will follow. They can't overtake before the start-finish line in their lines, though. Clank takes it right to the end by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's dropped the hammer. He's gone for it.
He's got a very good start there too. He's managed to stay ahead. He's defending on the inside there from WMDR Martin. Looks to be trying to make a move, but Clank seems to have got the players. Contact further behind. I believe that was. I don't know who that was. I see he was dropping through the field, but I can't see. Unfortunately, there's contact at the start there, pushing someone far, far to the back.
Yeah, they went sideways, but Clank has managed to pull a gap from Big Wiggle and WR Martin.
He has indeed. He's got a good lead there. We know he's a fast driver. Now he's got the pole position. How far can he pull that lead before the faster drivers get through the field? But say faster, WMDR Martin, we also know, is a very quick driver here.
And for some reason, Strongest Avenger is going really slow. The camera can't even pick him up, he's going so slow. I think
he may have even disconnected by the looks of it, because we've moved to Deifar now.
Yeah.
He's still on the delta there. I'm not sure what's happened with Strongest Avenger. He seems to have just dropped off the map completely. He's now hurtling down into the hairpin at the start of Sector 3. WMDR Martin trying to make some move and pushes. I think that's WMDR Martin has to be pushed wide.
And WRC Animal goes wide there.
Asturban now with two teammates there. What's happening with the teammate? Yogurt's already up to P3.
Yogurt's already up to P3.
It took him one lap to get to P3.
Insane.
Asturban now looking to get down the inside of WMDR Martin. Looks like he's already got the move done. Can he also get WRC? He can. He's two cars in one straight there. As everyone's pulling out now for that inside line.
Technically, you're going to have a look down the inside, but he decides better.
Stephen Carey's going to get down the inside of Tickler. Tickler's gone wide, and Stephen Carey takes the inside. Oh, that's further behind. So many people with the same livery. It's hard to tell which one is which.
Stephen Carey trying to go around the outside.
That is, yeah, Stephen Carey on the outside of WRC Animal. The As Turbo worked his way through the field as well up to P4. We'll see if he can chase down Yogurt, if Big Wilt can hold up Yogurt enough to allow As Turbo to catch up. But no, Yogurt seems to have got the move done already. He chases down Clank now. As much as I'm rooting for Clank being a fellow teammate, I'm not sure he's going to hold back Yogurt. Which, to be fair, Yogurt, also a teammate, but
yeah,
we don't mind either one.
Actually, a fair few of the drivers in this league are our teammates.
They are indeed. As Yogurt makes a mistake there on the hairpin, and Yogurt just closes the gap massively. Right on his gearbox now.
I can't help but think this is just going to be the inevitable.
I imagine so, yeah. I don't think... imagine Yogurt's going to get the
Clank's
better
doing his
exit
best.
here now. Yeah, can't get a bit sideways.
Lady.
Yogurt, even before the straights, he's down the inside. And there he is. And that may be the last we see of Yogurt for a while.
He might be able to sit in the slipstream and try and get past. But unfortunately now you can see the strongest Avenger is in the pits. And I think he's retired from the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's Ticklish is also in the pits. But Ticklish down P16 now. Again, but there may be more chance now in this race compared to the previous one to make a comeback. It is going to be about an hour long, I believe. Maybe 50 minutes to an hour this race. As Dunder
and Pile. Oh, Dunder goes off again.
Yeah, we've noticed there's no grip on the outside of that turn too. If you start going wide, it's really hard to bring it back, so it's pretty difficult to make the move there. Let's see what's happening on P3 at the moment. We've got As Turbo and he's made his way around the Big Wilk, so Big Wilk just dropping back down P4. But again, Yogurt, a 2-second gap now. I don't think many people are going to be able to catch him, especially his strongest Avenger, pretty much down and out.
Unless a very uncharacteristic mistake happens with Yogurt, I think this is his race. He's just going to have 20 laps of time trials now.
Yeah, well, we may see some back markers come into play this race more so than the last one, so we'll see how he handles the blue flags. But he's used to those by now, so he should be able to make it through okay. This feels very spread out now. Thought it'd be a lot closer for a lot longer considering the reverse grid, but it seems that the back end of the field is a lot closer together than the front end. Everyone sort of sorted themselves out for the top 10 so far, and the huge train of cars now behind WMDR Martin, who's just fallen way back this race, unfortunately for him.
JJ has pulled into the pits.
And so has Stephen Carey. Stephen Carey.
So has Stephen Carey. Maybe they had a collision.
Could possibly be. Unfortunately, we missed that as we got Boris. Boris or Dunder. That's Dunder behind, I believe.
And Dunder again off onto the grass.
Very eventful, the start of this race. That's what reverse grid does, I guess, with people vying for position, with the faster guys usually behind the slower guys, and cause a lot of chaos. But
the battle, sorry to interrupt, but the battle for P2 with As Turbo and Clank is starting to heat up. As Turbo has caught onto the back gearbox as Clank has a slight movement as they go up the hill to turn 9. Can As Turbo make a move into turn 10? He's definitely in the slipstream. He's definitely going to be close enough. Clank defending very strongly into turn 10. As Turbo, can he make it around the outside of the braking? Clank keeps the racing line, but As Turbo makes the move up the inside and has the move stuck. And that's Clank down to 3rd, and As Turbo up to 2nd. And let's see if he can make any inroads on Yogurt's lead. It's already almost 7 seconds up the road.
Clank unfortunately defending way too heavily, allowing As Turbo just to take the racing line and carry so much more speed around that hairpin at the start of sector 3. And Clank just had no answer going into the following corner, so that drops him down to 3rd, and As Turbo up to 2nd. But 7.6 second lead now for Yogurt. You just can't see that being whittled down anytime soon.
Not at the rate enough that he's moving at. Like, he's already pretty much on the edge, and he's already in the lead, so he's got clean air to do the fastest laps that he wants.
Does indeed. He's 146 compared to As Turbo's previous 149. Was the overtake being involved in that 149, but a 3 second difference in lap times there. Yeah, quite a lot. the clean air does for you when As Turbo has to battle. So we see a few people coming back up the pits now and joining. We may have some back markers quite early on.
Mr. Ferret now, he's having a better race than what he did in the feature race. He's up to 11th. He's managed to get through all the carnage, and he's got a... Yeah, and he's just put in a fast lap.
I believe we're getting that camera bug which keeps on jumping to a random driver, which we
Yeah.
also had at Laguna when we were
Certainly
spectating,
is.
so if we end up jumping to Deofile randomly, unfortunately it's beyond our control. It's the game thinking that we just want to watch Deofile all day. No offense to Deofile, but we want to watch other drivers too. Oh, Cameron having a big slide there, nearly on the grass but managed to recover. Doesn't lose any positions but loses a bit of time to Mr. Ferret.
To Uni.
Uni's in P9, Ferret P11.
Cameron B having a huge moment again. Out of turn 10.
Yeah, it seems to be enjoying this. There's a lot of lock on his wheel there. And he's just...
Another moment.
Doesn't seem to be enjoying the car so much at the moment. Does seem to be tweaking around quite a bit, but hopefully he can keep it together and secure himself that top 10 spot by the end of the race. Still a long way to go though.
WM Martin now doing his best to hunt down P7 Enema.
Enema's had a fantastic race. Pretty sure Enema started down around P16 or P17 up to P7.
So, yeah.
That's a great run by Enema.
Yeah, and that's certainly an interesting racing line from WR Martin.
He likes to experiment, but I'm not sure that was experimentation. I believe that Martin still races on a controller as well, so you may see controller-esque inputs from Martin there. As we look at some
definitely
luscious,
getting that weird bug.
Luscious grass there. But we are getting, unfortunately, a bug from Project Cars, which we cannot help, but we'll fight through it. So keep tabbing back to people we do want to watch, as Clank is a bit in no man's land at the moment. He's got 3 seconds ahead to As Turbo. Big Wilk still 2 seconds down on him. Team pretty similar pace to Big Wilk, so if he does manage to get on his gearbox, it'll be a very interesting race there for sure.
I mean, the nice thing about this is that he's currently on the podium, so it shows promise for this season. So yeah. I'm sure he'll not be disappointed with this result, even if I mean, obviously the race isn't over, only 7 laps into a 24 lap race. But I mean, I think P4 isn't putting any time into him, so it's fine.
Yeah, he'll be happy to sit there and just lap now, which it's unfortunately what you sometimes end up doing at Barcelona. See, Enema, Martin's got past Enema, so not sure when that move was done, but Enema looking to fight back down the start-finish straight, and we'll see what happens into turn 1. MDR Martin takes the inside line and I think has lost out already.
Yeah, he has.
Enema's just got the move done on the straight. So this could be a battle to watch to the end. Back and forth between WMDR Martin and Enema.
And look at the run that Martin's had. Can he stay in the slipstream coming around that corner? Turn 3, the dirty air, the car just wants to slide.
Yeah, I noticed that last lap as well when he was behind, he was just drifting all around that turn 3. It's be quite a horrible corner of knowing how much speed you can actually take. You take too much, you get a bit of understeer going, you have to lift, and then that causes lift off oversteer and it gets all horrible around there. But Martin pushing hard now to try and stay on the gearbox of Enema and look for a space so he can make a move.
Definitely pushing hard. This is what we like to see. Cameron now starting to catch up to Uni. Less than a second between them. He's on the slipstream. The gap's coming down as you can. It was 0.6, now it's 0.5 in the slipstream. He's gained a 10th in that straight alone.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of time over the last few laps as well, so we'll see that time come down. It's just, he's to find a place where he can make the move and get the overtake done.
There's Speedy Go making inroads on Boris. He's taking that corner way faster than Boris. He's up the inside for the right-hander. He's hung Boris out to dry.
Great
He's going to get him into the chicane. What a fantastic move by Speedy Go.
Showing his prowess, and he belongs further up the field than where he is right now, but unfortunately I believe an incident early on has put him back the lower end of the field, but see how far he can get back before the end of the race. Still a long way to go. On lap 9 of 24 so far.
Martin keeping the pressure on Enema as the two of them go slightly drifting there from turn 5, heading out now to turn 7, heading up the hill as Martin gets a better exit.
Oh, it's an unfortunate slide through there as well though. Both of them had a bit of a slide. So it seems like the track is just that lacking in grip, as both cars are taking a few corners and just losing the back end quite frequently. Again, we jump to Cameron on the back of Uni. Battle still going on there. Cameron not quite close enough to put any pressure on, but Mr. Ferret is also under pressure behind there by Speedy Go himself. He's pulled 2 seconds into Boris in the last lap, looking to gain another position this lap in the exact same place. Someone's off with the grass.
Was off. That was Cameron. Cameron was off.
So Cameron losing a couple of positions there as Speedy Go also gets the move done on Mr. Ferret into the chicane. Speedy Go
Cameron
up to 10.
now under pressure from Boris. Sorry to interrupt, but Cameron was slow through that chicane as Boris is going to be right on him. If he can stay in the slipstream and get him into turn 1 maybe, but
looked like Boris had a bad exit there. He had a bit of sideways again on the power. He's going to have to settle for tucking behind Cameron for now.
Yeah, as Dunder has decided to pit.
Sure
Speedy Go is now up to P10. He is making serious inroads in the field here.
Martin's actually got past Enema again, so that position's been swapped back, and Enema's lost a bit of time to Martin too. 1.5 seconds the gap. See if they can bring that back down and put some pressure back on Martin.
We'll have a look at Speedy Go now. As he creeps in on Uni, he's got it down to 7/10. He could just be so much better in the corners than everybody else. He's gained half a second to that one corner alone, and he had a slide in that corner. He's right on the gearbox of Uni as they head down to turn 10. Well, he decided to stay in the slipstream as Uni defends heavily, just like Clank, and this is a copy and paste for what Speedy Go did to, or what Yogurt did to Clank.
Speedy Go carrying too much speed around there and gets a bit wide, gets the back end out on the throttle, allows Uni back through. But they're going too wide now as Speedy Go on the inside gets the move done. Pretty sure this one's going to stick this time, and it does. So Speedy Go, in the last 3 laps, has gained himself 3 positions, or 4, including Cameron's unfortunate ventures off-road. He slams into that sausage curb and onto the start-finish straight. Quite a gap now that he needs to gain back 7 seconds, or just about, up to Enema. But if Enema and Martin keep on fighting, that should come down quite rapidly.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're going to head up to the leader. We got Yogurt, who is in the first 10 laps of the race. Not only got through all the field unscathed, but he's pulled a 13-second gap to As Turbo. His last lap was 2 seconds faster than As Turbo's. He is absolutely just dialed in as he slightly drifts that corner. He's just dialed in. He's loving this. I mean, I would love to give the guy more airtime, but there's just it wouldn't be very interesting.
Well, let's have a lap on board with Yogurt. If we go into into the cockpit view and just have a look at what he is doing to get his pace down, using all of the track there right onto the outside rumble strip, dives into the apex. And as we said before, he loves to drift, so getting the car a little sideways there.
Perfect blue flags getting out of the way as well.
Yeah, a nice line around the long turn 3, not getting too wide, just keeping it together. And now again using all of the track. Gets to the apex, and again he just drifts it everywhere, but that's just his style, and it suits him and seems to suit the car. Again, his wide entries to these corners, it's beautiful to see.
You gotta love it. I'm gonna try and take notes.
Yeah. Sorry, Ogre, for giving your secrets away. If anyone decides to rewatch the stream, they're gonna see what you're doing. Go and echo this. He's never seems to be pushing too hard, even though he does have those bouts of oversteer. He's fully in control the entire time. Slows the car down for that hairpin. Gets the power on the outs out of it. And this one you have to just be patient on the throttle. So patient around that corner as we head down to the last few corners now. Drifting again into the chicane. Over that sausage curve, straight over it. And that is a lap with Yogurt.
Around Barcelona-Catalunya.
What is the lap time going to be this time? It will be a 1:46.8. Still faster than anyone else is on the field. The fastest next lap is Crab, doing a 1:47.7 so far in his previous lap. As Turbo still 2 seconds down on that lap we just saw of Yogurt's. But incredible stuff to see. He's got such pace behind him. Plank still sitting in P3. The gap still 1.5 seconds to the Big Wilk. I think that's come down by about a second in the last 5-6 laps. So maybe getting within slipstream range soon. I believe within 1 second that starts to take a bit more of an effect. We'll see if Big Wilk can close that gap as we've gone over the halfway point of this race.
Clank, or sorry, not Clank, but Big Wilk that last lap was 7/10 faster on that lap. So that gap is definitely starting to close. Let's have a look for P11. There's the ball, Cameron and Mr. Ferret going side by side. Sorry, that was Crab. Boris is right in the slipstream of Cameron, and up ahead of that there you got Crab and Mr. Ferret fighting out for P10.
Yeah, this could get very interesting towards the end of the race as these 5 drivers are within pretty close proximity. You see Cameron on the outside, Boris taking the inside line, and Boris staying ahead there. But gets wobbly out the exit, and Cameron takes the inside into turn 2. Boris loses nearly 2 positions.
And just out of camera shot there, I think that was Mr. Ferret that was spun at turn 1.
That's unfortunate for Mr. Ferret. He was having such a good drive there. Didn't lose it on turn 1, and he's back down now to P14. Going back to this battle now for P11, I believe. Boris ahead of Cameron defending from Uni.
Uni taking a nice exit out of that corner as he's going to try and dive down the inside of Cameron, or there's not, he's going to decide better and brake. Just as they both head up the straight. You can see Cameron constantly wiggling at the steering wheel, trying to just. Maybe he's a pad user. Pad user
might
even.
Be on the pad, yeah, I believe he is, but still doing a great drive as Uni putting the pressure on now. Dives on the inside, looks to the inside into the hairpin. Cameron tucks in and
they both give each other space, which is fantastic to see.
I was very much expecting contact there, but Cameron managed to get the better of it and stay out of Uni. But Uni gets the move done and claims that P12 away from Cameron. See if Uni now can chase down Boris, or Cameron fight back against Uni.
And the battle for P3 is getting closer and closer. Clank is feeling the pressure. The gap's down to 0.4 of a second. Big Wilk is absolutely turning the heat up now. We're halfway through the race.
It's right on the tail now of Clank, just 0.3 separating them when it was just a lap ago, I believe, 1.5 seconds. So Big Wilk had a huge push to get on the back of him as they head down towards the hairpin. Bit of a lock-up by Clank, and a bit of sideways on exit. Big Wilk has to dive out of it, otherwise he would have gone right up his gearbox, but stay in positions for now. Big Wilk, just good patience shown by him. He didn't have to make the move there, he's still got another 10 laps to do it in. Just needs to stay on his tail and just keep probing for that weakness until Clank makes a mistake big enough to get the move done.
Big Wilk's definitely lost time in that last sector. The gap's been brought back out to almost 9 tenths. But on the slipstream, you can see it now, it's down to 7 tenths. It's almost down to 6 tenths. The gap, the slipstream is insane with these cars.
It is indeed, but Big Wilk's not been able to get the move done there, so stays in P4. Again, he's just going to keep behind, keep probing. Never needs to force an issue. Seems to be a smart driver from what we've seen so far. See what happens in the next 10 laps, whether we can get the move done. Martin and Enema back at it again. Enema's gone in front of Martin, so we missed that. Back and forth again, they swap positions.
Yeah, Martin right now, he's just kind of trying to keep the gap closed. I think he made a mistake at the last lap because it was his last lap was a 1:52. As he has a huge slide there coming out of turn 1, trying to get into turn 2. He's just must be struggling. I know there is a bit of damage on the front of the car, but he's just got to try and settle down. There's still a long time left in this race to try and get the gap down to Enema. But back up to P3 now. We've got Big Wilk and Clank again. Half a second's the gap. Clank now doing his best to just hold P3. This would be a great result for him, even though it is pre-season testing. Can he hold on? There's 9 laps remaining. Big Wilk constantly keeping the pressure on. He's hitting his marks. He's putting Clank under pressure. He's going to be in the slipstream now. The gap is 3 tenths of a second. Clank realizes this. He's weaving down the streets. Can Big Wilk get the move done? He's going to be in the slipstream. The gap's closing. It's down to 1/10 of a second. Big Wilk going around the outside. He's going to have a look. Clank's gone defensive into turn 1. Clank's claims the apex and takes the corner back. And Big Wilk has to slide back in. And now as they go around turn 3, this is a feisty battle.
Yeah, it's great defense there by Clank. We've seen a lot of drivers try that defense and then go wide in turn 2, but he held that line perfectly around turn 1 and 2 to stay in front of Big Wilk there. The WRC Animal, not really been doing much this race, he's just been chilling there in P5. Hasn't really been able to gain on this third place battle. But Uni now still behind Boris, who Uni also followed by Cameron B. No change of positions here so far, but I think Uni is slowly getting closer to Boris each lap now, so may spice up soon.
Yeah, for sure. There's some great racing in this race so far. Been great racing in the 2 races so far in these in the pre-season testing, and this is only the test. This is what drivers are trying to get used to see what these cars are like. So once they know what they're capable of, you can only expect it to be better in the actual season.
Yeah, it would be great to see these guys once we've had a bit more time with these cars. See, with Project Cars 2, such a selection of cars in this game, we can often get lost in how they all handle differently, but with a few races under their belts, this is shaping up to be a great season, even when just the first race is producing the racing we're seeing here today, as Big Wilk still on the gearbox of Clank. Said these drivers are very close in pace. Big Wilk just can't find the weakness that he's hoping for from Clank, but Clank also in his defence doing a great job of keeping Big Wilk behind him. Big Wilk has a little look towards the inside. Oh, that's Big Wilk on the inside, and there's contact! Big Wilk's hit him!
They both survived, but there's huge contact as I think Big Wilk he looked and then he decided to better of it. Oh, Clanks, he's down to 4th. He's had to pull off.
He's struggling. He's stayed off the track there. Doesn't look like he's rejoined yet. Now he's rejoined.
Clanks gonna be devastated with that.
That car is not good. That car is not handling as it should. Can't see what's happening. The camera's jumped today far, unfortunately, damage. But Clank he's still off the 8th, crabbing there down the road. You can see him.
We can't see it. Sorry, folks. The bug of the game. We just can't see it.
So unfortunately, Clank was having a great drive until that
point. Sorry,
guys. It's now in P6, and I assume he's going to have to make his way back round to the pits to be able to finish this race now. Such bad luck by Clank, and I can see what Big Rook was trying to do.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Just trying to make it back. That car's not healthy, is it?
Yeah, the car's crabbing. It's that's really unlucky, because I could see that Big Wilk was he had a look and then he decided better of it, and then I think he just got caught out with the braking and he was forced into a dive bomb by himself, and then the contact that was there because Clank probably seen him pull back in behind him, and then that's really unfortunate.
It is indeed, but it's just all it takes is one bit of contact to end the race, and it seems to have happened there for Clank, who's still trying to make his way back to the pits. It's a long way back on this circuit for a car that's not handling as it should. You see him drop down the positions now to P10.
Well, we'll save him the embarrassment and we'll concentrate on WMDR Martin and Crab as they battle it out for P8. As Martin goes slightly wide, he's slightly sliding as well. Bit of a drift. Crab's pulled up a gap. He's right on him as they head into the chicane. They're side by side. Martin grabs apex, goes slightly wide over the sausage curb, and now Crab's going to have a better exit. As they come around the last corner, they couldn't be any closer. Crab's pushed Martin into the wall.
I think there was contact. Keeps it out of the wall somehow. WMDR Martin doesn't touch the wall. But I'm not sure if Crab should get the position back there, but that looked like there was contact, but it may have just been Martin on the throttle too much. But Crab has made his way up to P8 now. There's a 5-second gap to Enema, so Enema's managed to pull that gap, which wasn't that far before. Martin was battling for position with Enema, but they've managed to get 5 seconds up the road of these two now. But Yogurt 21 seconds up the road. What a huge gap.
What can you say? But we got JJ on Uni here up into turn 1. JJ didn't have a great first race, but he's managed to salvage something from the race, from the feature race. He's up to P11.
Managed to make his way past Cameron and Uni without us seeing it, so good job by him. As we thought, Clank has entered the pit lane. Such bad luck for him running in P3 for so long to end up with that collision there to take him out of the race.
Keyboard Blondie up to P5. What a race from them.
Yeah, doing a great job there. That's the advantage of the reverse grid, is some of these drivers who may not have a perfect race 1 have every chance to make a race 2 count through either collisions further up the field or by finishing 9th or 10th and getting on pole position for race 2.
Yeah, for sure. But let's see what his lap is from this lap, which is a 151.9, and Speedy Go's last lap was a 149 flat. Yeah. Well, 149.2 now. And there's 5 laps remaining. That Speedy Go will definitely catch, but that's one thing to catch. But will he pass him?
Yeah,
we've seen Speedy Go do some incredible overtakes tonight, but can he pull one more off to grab the top P5? Hey, you never know, he might even catch P4 as well at that rate. He is absolutely flying tonight.
There's a long way, 13 seconds up to P4. I think he's only a second and a bit faster, so it might be a bit of a long shot for that one, but P5 is definitely on the cards here for Speedy Go. See the gaps start to spread out now between these cars, apart from Speedy Go working up the field. Everyone else seems to have quite a gap between them. Got JJ, looks like he's about to attack Boris here for P9. He's edging ever closer each lap now. He's pulled a huge gap to Uni behind him.
From Uni?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last lap he's pulled 4 seconds on him. We do apologise, folks, but it seems to be every time cars come around turn 3 that we're watching, it just skips to the air file.
We're not allowed to see cars around turn 3, otherwise we got to their file instead. But we'll try and work around that for you and try and keep it on the action as best we can. There's JJ now attacking Boris, trying to get that P10 spot. Boris gets what?
Boris had a bit of a moment going up the hill. JJ's going to be all over him. Heading round turn 9. Can he just stay in the slipstream again? It's all about the slipstream tonight. If you can stay in the slipstream and survive the corners and then just get them on the brakes, that's pretty much every overtake.
Yeah, we could have another also battle behind for Ticklish and Union. I think Ticklish have got the move done as well in the background there, which Ticklish has.
He has. There, the teammates are battling it out.
Yeah, still got to do it. It's pre-season, so there's no harm, no foul when it comes to battling it out here today. They may think otherwise in the season when points are on the line, but today it's just about getting used to the cars, getting used to racing close to each other. And Ticklish got themselves up to P12 there on their teammates.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have a look now at Crab. That's turn 3.
Not allowed to look at turn 3.
Maybe now. There we go. As Enema and Crab are having a go at it.
Yep,
sorry, that's Speedy Go on Crab.
Yeah, Speedy Go, yeah. What? Why Speedy Go on Crab? Because Crab was... Wait, Speedy Go dropped positions? Because Speedy Go is chasing P5 for keyboard, so that's Crab.
Yeah. Sorry, we've had a bit of a glitch with the timekeeping, and Speedy Go has made it up to P5. He's Blondie's gone deep, and Speedy Go has made it up to P5. Now back to Enema and Crab, who is 1.5 seconds up the road. That was the overtake that we were just talking about.
Right, yes. I'm not sure what happened to Crab to be in that situation. Is Crab working their way up the field as well, like Speedy Go? Seems like
I think
based
so.
on their pace, yeah.
Crab's last lap was 48.8. That's just as fast as that's faster than Asturbo's last lap.
Yeah, if you're on pace with P2, you've got a good chance of making some positions up as we enter the last 4 laps.
Have a look now. Boris doing his best to close the gap on JJ. The gap is 7/10 of a second. He's had a good exit there. He's going to be in the slipstream of JJ. He's going to close in, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for turn 1. The gap's 7/10 now. JJ's feeling the need to defend. He's weaving down the straights. There's nothing really Boris could do. Boris didn't really gain much of that because of the weaving. Ticklish is almost 4 seconds behind this battle, so if Ticklish can put in a couple of quick laps, and which he is doing, because his last lap was actually 2.5 seconds faster than Boris's, so
He's definitely
it's
joined
definitely
this
there
battle
for the taking.
race.
You got Crab, Enema, and I think that's Jorgurk who's lapping them.
Jorgurk just had an incredible race.
Crazy.
Just showing. I don't think I've seen his lap time be any slower than a 1:48 this entire race. So he is just keeping it pinned the whole way around. Amazing drive by him. It's incredible to see him just have so much pace.
He's so fast. He's about to lap his teammate around Barcelona. That is some incredible lap times he's done tonight in this race. Just one after the other, constantly battering them out.
It's a 1:46 that last time. Not sure I've seen any other lap times in the 1:46s in race pace so far.
This is the closest battle that we have on track. We got Dunder and Cameron B as they head round the final corner. Dunder is definitely in the slipstream. We got this only down to 0.2 of a second as they go to cross the line. Dunder's going to be riding Cameron B's gearbox. Cameron B deciding to just keep it straight. He's going to be a cam like Senna, but as Dunder does a Mansell and takes up the inside line and takes the position. He has a bit of a moment there, but he's good. Ticklish has absolutely dropped the hammer the last couple of laps. He's closed the gap down to 1.5 seconds to Boris. It was only 2 laps ago, the gap was 4 seconds. Ticklish, he definitely getting to grips with the car later on in the race. As Dunder and Dayerfile has actually swapped positions, and Cameron B has got ahead of them as well. I think Dunder has had a moment.
Yeah, they must have there.
That sounds so infuriating to make all that moves on Cameron B and then for it to be punished literally a couple of corners later and to drop the 2 spots.
Especially so late in the race, not many laps now left to get any further moves done. We'll have to see what they can do. Get it, well, you're lapping them, they're going to be a lap behind on this as well, aren't they?
Yeah. We'll have a quick look. As Darefell, I was almost going to change the camera as Darefell has a look up the inside of the final turn on Cameron B. That's going to be close in the slipstream again. Surely he's going to get the move made. The gap's constantly closing. They're side by side. Cameron B again, very calm, cool, and just decides to play it safe. Stay on the racing line and let them do all the work. As he has a moment and look at Cameron B. Trying to work his way around outside, yeah.
Luckily we're already on DFL, so hopefully the camera will stay on this battle this time. See Darebald staying ahead of Cameron. Can Cameron get anything done? Not into this corner.
Cameron playing it very calm. He doesn't want to have any more incidents. He just wants to have a nice clean test. I think he's going to save all his aggressive moves. As Darefile has a bit of a moment up the hill. Oh, there's so much. Just when you think it calms down. Oh, we must. Yogurt has crossed the line. Whoa, that's a huge crash. What a way to end the race.
Great finish there by Yogurt, just incredible pace all race, it's unbelievable. The As Turbo going to claim P2.
Try and grab. Ticklish didn't manage to get Boris in the end, but my god, that was a close finish. Cameron will... No, he won't catch the airfile, unfortunately. But great racing from them guys tonight. Let's have a look. Big Will taking P3. So I think if that was in the actual league, that definitely would go to the stewards. That overtake for P3.
Pretty sure would, yeah. Clank unfortunately being dropped completely off the standings from that battle for P3, but Big Will finishes in P3 today.
WRC Animal picking up P4, and then Speedy Go. Oh, he was close to catching P4, but just maybe needed a couple of more laps. Keyboard Blondie, what a race! What a race for Keyboard Blondie, picking up P6.
Yeah, with Crab right on the tail, but Crab loses it.
Crab tried to take way too much speed coming out of the chicane, to try and get a run on Keyboard Blondie and is absolutely smashed into the wall.
Does manage to keep it going though and get to the line. He's gonna stay in his P7 there. But that
He's
was
lucky that he's lucky that the Enema wasn't close behind. And that is race results. The race is over. So you got your winner tonight, Yogurt. And then in P2 you got Ass Turbo, you got Big Will pick up P3, WRC Animal 4th, Speedy Go 5th, Keyboard Blondie 6th, we got Crab in 7th, Enema 8th, WM Dor Martin 9th, JJ in 10th.
Boris picking up P11, Ticklish Picklewickle P12, Uni following 13th, Deophile in 14th, Cameron B unfortunately dropping down to 15th at the end there, Dunder 16th, Mr. Ferret 17th, Clank with the pit stop finishing in 18th, and Strongest had to retire after an early incident in that race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We missed out on the what a great race of what it could have been for the lead with him and Yogurt, but we've got all season to look forward to that.
We have indeed. Hopefully it'll be a bit closer than it was today from race 1, but definitely some good battles we had today for the midfield at the very least. Plenty of action in the upcoming season.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't actually ask you earlier on what's your favourite race of the calendar? What are you looking forward to the most?
I've always loved Red Bull Ring in any car, to be honest. So I think Red Bull Ring's one that I'm definitely looking forward to there.
For sure. Right. So let's get our race winner, if we can.
Doing interviews today, we'll find out, which I believe we are.
Yeah, we've got a couple of waiting.
We'll get that race winner Yogurt in the commentary box. So Yogurt is here. Yogurt, another day, another win. How was that for you?
Pretty good, to be honest. I thought I would have some more competition. I mean, of course, I always welcome the competition, but it's also good to know that I am really strong with this car. And overall the races were pretty easy, except for the car itself, because it was pretty hard to handle with the loose setup. But yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people getting the back end loose a lot of the time. Is that down to temperature, or the car, or a mix of both?
Well, I'd say it's probably just low temperatures on the track. We are racing with like a really cold surface. It's like 12 degrees, 14 degrees, something like that. So the tires really, even if they do get warmed up by just driving aggressively, they just don't have the grip. So in some of the corners you're just sliding around, and basically all you're doing is catching the oversteer and hoping for the best. And yeah, me myself, I had a couple of close moments in the sprint race. 3-4 times I was pushing really hard and I almost lost it. Also in the feature race I spun twice in the hairpin. So yeah, it's really a tough one to control because of the setup and the tire temperatures, and yeah.
That's unbelievable to believe that you spun twice and still had that huge gap.
Well, yeah, all I did, I just did a free and kept going. Pressed the clutch, I followed it, I just revved it up to turn it in a 360, and I lost like 4 or 5 seconds only.
So even when you have an incident, you make the most of it and not lose as much as other people would have.
Yeah.
Did you find it hard coming through the traffic in race 2?
Not really. Most of the guys just let me through, and yeah, it was pretty okay with the traffic. In terms of the back markers, but overall the first lap, it was pretty intense, to be honest. I liked it. Of course, that was also quite easy. But yeah, I had a couple of close moments. I also had a bit of contact with VMDR Martin, and I got 2 aero damage in front, which was a bit annoying, but I figured out that it's actually not that big of a deal. I still had a lot of pace.
Yeah, I suppose that's the nice thing about tonight is, well, it's all testing, isn't it? You can figure out how much damage you can get from slight incidents like that there, and you can figure out if the car is worth pitting or not.
Yeah, and to aero damage is definitely not worth it because the pace was still there and the fastest lap was still pretty much equal to the sprint race, and so yeah.
Yeah, well, you did a fantastic job tonight, buddy. I have to say, I couldn't have done it better myself. Any further questions, Kiki?
Nothing from me. Just congratulations, Yoguk, and hope to see more from you in the come.
You definitely will.
And we will happily commentate on it.
Okay. See you next week then.
All right, see you next week, buddy.
What do we have waiting here? Should we take our P3 finisher from the current race and controversial man himself, Big Wilk, with the incident with Clank?
Yeah, we'll grab him.
Hello, Big Wilk, a name we've not seen before. How are you doing?
Hello?
Hello, might be on push to talk, possibly. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We'll come back for Big Wilk. We'll grab someone else for now, and we'll grab Martin. Here we go. Hello, Martin. How are you doing?
Doing fairly good, I guess.
Yeah, so those cars looked a bit slidey, a bit all over the place. Was it exactly like that to drive to?
If you pick the loose setup, pretty much, yeah. That's what I ran with for the first race, and couldn't really push at all. Had to lift and coast through a lot of the corners just to stay alive. So for the second race, I ended up using the stable setup. But then had some lag issues in probably like the first 2 or 3 laps, which made me be a little extra cautious. And then around about the time when the lag finally went away, I got rear-ended by Ticklish Picklewickle, which gave me, oddly enough, 2 front damage, 15 on the rear, and then 12 on the, I think it was right rear suspension as well.
There's a few incidents we saw out there today, but hopefully it wasn't too bad for you driving with that. We saw a few people's races ended quite early on. So
yeah, I think it cut 2 seconds a lap, so he ended up pitting for his damage. I stayed out, and it was decently close towards the end.
Yeah, so anything you've learned from this race to take forward to the season? Is it you gonna do your own setups or just stick with the safe setup for the season?
Well, I mean, it's the setups are locked, so it's just loose or stable. But I'd say it's definitely worth winging it on the loose. But if that doesn't work, you can always try stable in the second race. And to be fair, despite the damage, I had a really entertaining race with Anima or Anima. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. Yeah, he kept on having some moments in the corners, and I was still able to push despite the damage because the stable setup really is pretty good at this track. And then he'd just get me back on the straight every single time because my straight line speed was dead.
Yeah, yeah. We watched a good chunk of it. Yeah, the racing tonight. I'm not a huge fan personally of Barcelona, but tonight the racing was absolutely fantastic. Like, I noticed enough in the feature race. I think it was with Crab, coming around the final turn. Well, did you lose the back end, or was there contact?
So on my end, I didn't exactly feel anything, but I definitely lost the back end, and he told me over the voice chat that he did actually hit me on his screen.
Ah.
Controversial. See what happens in the season if that starts to happen with that level of contact, because we saw you manage to keep it heroically out of the barrier. That was quite impressive to not completely end your race there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pretty sure if that was me or Kiki, would have been straight into the pits. Through the wall into the pits.
Yeah. But overall, I think did a good job out there and finished P9 at the end. So good job and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks. I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Later.
See you next week.
One more person to interview, and it's the man himself, Ticklish Picklewick. Hello, Ticklish. How are you doing?
And I'm well.
How did tonight go for you, buddy?
Well, first race was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was just action-packed from start to finish. Racing these cars is really intense. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I ended up P7, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. Then second race, it was still enjoyable, but I don't know if you caught it on stream, but lap 3, I think, or 4, I broke a little bit too late at the end of the back straight into turn 10. And I unfortunately hit Martin quite hard in the back. So yeah, I got 35 front damage, which I had to pit and repair, so I was sitting in the pits for 19 seconds. So it was pretty much just a recovery drive from then. I went out of the pits in P19 and I ended in P12. So obviously I'm a bit disappointed about the start, and it was completely my fault. I just broke too late. So I'm gonna take the full responsibility for that. But I think considering everything in the race, it was a pretty nice recovery drive, at least from me gaining those 7 positions in the race.
Yeah, towards the end of that race, we actually managed to catch. Well, I was keeping an eye on your times, and I could see that you were like 2 seconds a lap faster than the people in front, and you were like catching them and passing them. So it was definitely fun to keep an eye on in the second race. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was it's a nice feeling when you know like you're much faster than the guys in front. It gives you a very good incentive to just keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta be happy about that going into the season as well, just knowing that you have a good chance of beating a lot of these guys in the field and getting some consistent top 10 finishes in the races coming up.
yes, definitely. I mean, I always enjoy racing leagues, but it's always more fun when you can be in the mix. So I'm very much looking forward to the season.
Any track particular? I assume you're involved in putting the calendar together. Which one were you most excited to get on there?
Ooh, that's a hard one actually. Let me just have a look at the calendar here so I can see the different tracks.
Get out for our viewers as well. We've got Ruapuna Park, Monza, Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and Hockenheim.
I think, like in terms of like just the track, I think Brands Hatch is going to be a very good one. It's a very technical one, and it's an old school one. There's no runoff. If you make a mistake, you're in the grass, and when it goes wrong, you're in the wall. So, like in terms of the track, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But like, I think Red Bull Ring this season is going to be very interesting because we're going to have the dry to wet transition during the feature race. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the different strategies, and it's all about knowing when to pit for tires. So yeah, I think Brands Hatch just for the track, and then for the racing and for the transition weather, Red Bull Ring.
Awesome stuff. Well, we're looking forward to commentating on it all as well. Any final words?
Well, I look forward to the season really. I mean, I personally didn't really discover any like truly bad driving tonight, and usually we had pretty like not optimal driving standards in the start of the season, and then it gradually gets better. But it actually seems to be like pretty good from the get-go here. So
yeah, from watching tonight, like we could see that the racing was really clean. Like everybody was like leaving everybody space, and it was only like small mistakes that would cause contact. Like it wasn't like on purpose kind of thing. But yeah, I think we're in for a great season, to be honest.
yeah, and I mean, I just want to give everyone props basically for doing such a great job, especially to the new guys who's not been here before. It's definitely great to see them coming in here with a proper mindset. Basically, usually new drivers have to kind of adjust, but this doesn't really seem to have been the case here. So I'm really looking forward to it.
We are too. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.
All right, bye.
Next up, we have, hopefully with technical issues resolved, we'll bring Big Wilk in, our P3 finisher. Hello, Big Wilk, and welcome to AOR. First time that me and JP have seen you. How was that for you tonight?
Second race was good. Thank God for the reverse top 10 start, I guess.
Yeah, so you obviously finished on the podium in that second race with a, let's say, controversial move on Clank into turn 1. How was that from your point of view? Was it he turned in on you, or did you misbrake into it, or what happened from your point of view?
It was an attempt to go through side by side, I think, and it's one of those cases where, yeah, on my end it was barely a touch, on his end he got massive damage, so I was 0-0 after that and set my fastest laps. But yeah, it's not how I would have wanted that battle to end, put it that way. We were real close, and it was good fun.
Yeah, we watched it for a long time. So obviously it wasn't intentional by you at all to have it end like that, and we know how Project Cars sometimes is when it comes to contact. The slightest touch can be 100 damage, and a huge crash can be 2 damage, but it seems like Clank got the worst of that.
P4, yeah. So that sucks. I don't know what happened. Someone was very close behind me after that and then disappeared. So, yeah, after that, P3. Happy days. Yeah,
great job. So, have you done much with AOR before? Is this your first league with AOR?
Done some GT3, and I did the 6 hours of Le Mans last year with Sky and Cole. But yeah, I've not been in the game much. Family happens, so yeah, this is like 9 in the morning NZ time, so I've had to take half a day off work.
Oh wow, that's a commitment. That is for a pre-season race, taking time off work. That is a commitment.
Yeah, so another 3 days off for the 6 remaining races of the season. But that's worth it. You guys don't race my time, so.
Yeah, you're looking forward to Ruapuna then? Is that a local track for you?
I'm Auckland, that's Christchurch, different island, but I've never been there in person. I've not played it much in the game, so I'll be playing it a bit of the next week.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Any tracks on there which you are excited for?
I mean, until I saw the performance of the top guys here, probably Hockenheim. That's the one that I usually go well on. Monza. Yeah, the aliens, as we seem to call them up front, are probably still going to be pretty good there, though.
Yeah, the aliens, when you race against them, they are very intimidating times when you look at the timesheets. It's like, I struggle to think like where they gain that time, but it's just that they know. I think they're actually like developers of the game. I'd say half of them, and they just have like hacks. They're like like grip hacks or something. It's like
I think the way they drive is probably not realistic, and the way that I drive is realistic to life. So they drive the game, and I'm trying to drive a car. And in fairness, we know which works better. So I don't know. I might go watch the replay, see if I can go in car, and we'll see what you can see.
Yeah, we saw an onboard lap with Yoguk during that race, and he was throwing that car about quite a fair bit, but it
pretty
seemed to
lively
work
on the
for him.
Yeah. I think in the real world you can't go sideways with the Formula 3 cars, but that's not Project Cars.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to play the game, not the actual drivings. But anyway, P3, fantastic result for the preseason.
Yeah,
hopefully you can carry that on through for the rest of the season.
Oh, it's time for breakfast and work now.
Enjoy. Have a good day. Thanks for talking to us.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Yeah.
And next, I think we'll bring in the other side of that incident. We'll bring Clank in to see what he has to say. Hello, Clank. Welcome to the commentary box.
Hello. I am so sorry I didn't bring us home the podium.
That's okay, buddy. That's okay. You did your very best.
We saw everything that happened in that Turn 1 incident, but in your words, what happened?
I don't know. I feel like I knew he was there. He'd been there the whole bleeding race, 2 seconds behind me. I was like, podium, here we go. And he's just there the whole time. Not really quicker than me, but I'm not quicker than him either. And then he just sort of... I was starting to struggle a bit with the tyres. My front left, especially. I must have locked it up a few times too many. And he obviously wasn't, because he's like in the voice chat going, "Oh, I've just done a PB." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know you have. You're right on my arse now." And he didn't sound like that, by the way. I forgot he could listen to this. Yeah, but basically he was gaining, and I was getting more and more defensive. And I literally, as I crossed the line on that lap, I was like, right, he's a bit further back now. Remember your braking points. Keep it clean. Podium's yours. And then turn 1, I thought he was further back. He obviously went for it. He thought the move was on. From my point of view, when I was driving, it felt like he said, I got the call from crew chief literally just as I was turning into the corner, car right, and I turned out of the corner and left just about a car's width. But obviously, I need to see the replay. But obviously, it was not enough room. The amount of damage I got 100 rear right suspension damage just like that. Car was buggered.
What we heard from Big Wilk saying that it seemed like just a tap from his point of view. Obviously, he's the other side of the world in New Zealand, so there might have been a bit of netcode going on there, unfortunately. But apart from that, you seem to have good pace when you were running in third for the majority of that race.
Yeah, I had to learn how to drive these cars in qualifying race 1, so I was ready by race 2. But race 1 was nuts. Starting like 16th, I think I came home. I forgot about the reverse grid. I just said this in the Ready for Interview chat to the other guys. I forgot it was full reverse, like top 10 reversed. I thought it was the whole grid reversed. So when I finished 10th, I actually overtook Stephen Cowie at the start of the last lap in race 1.
Yeah, we caught it on the stream.
We saw that on stream, that move into turn 1 down the straight and just got it into P10.
Yeah, I had no idea that was for reverse grid pole. I thought I'd start 10th because I thought grid's 10th, reverse the whole grid, I'll be 10th again, I'll be right in the pack again. So then when Ticklish is calling the starting order and he goes, Clank, you're first, I'm like, oh yes, here we go. He won.
Yeah, you did good out there. Like, it seemed like you got used to the car by the end and putting in some decent laps. Obviously, Yogurt did Yogurt things and disappeared into the distance. But
and is it Avenger were just flying. Literally, I'm like, I've got about 5 laps or so, then I have to worry about the aliens. Lap 2, who's in my mirrors?
So Yogurt got to P3. Was it P3 or P4 at the end of lap 1? It was just incredible by him to get through the field that quick.
Yeah, he's flying as usual, isn't he? He's so quick.
I think at this point people are just, they see the name or see him in the mirrors and they're like intimidated by it, so they just kind of like, they're already like mentally defeated and they like he can just slide past.
Yeah, I didn't really fight him. I accidentally fought Avenger a bit more though. I actually meant to let him through into the turn 10 hairpin in the middle sector, and I broke so I went inside and thought I'll brake early, missed my braking point, almost went into the side of him as he tried to go around me. I didn't think that one through. But
just all lessons for pre-season, all lessons.
Yeah, fair play to Yogurt. He was flying. Win both races is impressive.
Any tracks on the calendar coming up that you think you can see the podium again?
Again?
Well, for the first time, be in the shot for a podium.
Yeah, that would require me to know what's on the calendar.
I can give you a rough run through now. We've got Ruapuna Park, Monza, Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and Hockenheim, all the GP circuits.
Yeah, I've done all of them before, I think. I don't know. If the cars are so different, that's the thing. I could talk about how well I did at those in GT3, but it's not really relevant, is it? So, I don't know. It's, yeah, as long as I'm in the mix again, it's good fun, to be honest. Race 1, I had a great time. I was in the pack, just outside the top 10 most of it, but there were people off left, right, and centre, and I'm dodging them, and I'm battling people, and we're 3 wide, and it's just, it's good fun. I like default setup leagues like this, it's always fun.
Yeah, it seemed like you're having fun out there, but yeah, anything else from you, JP?
I was just wondering, what setup did you decide to go for in the loose or stable? Stable, yeah.
Yeah, I tried loose a little bit when I did do about 5 minutes of practice, and I spun like twice and just gave up. So it's not worth it, the instability. You need, I mean, they're tricky enough as they are. The brake pedal they lock up so easily. They're so slidey and yet so understeery. It's everything you don't want from a car, and yet it's still somehow fun.
Yeah, we'll see if the temperatures of the future races make a difference, because I believe it's quite cold at Barcelona for these races, so hopefully it gets a bit more grip later on, but otherwise it's the same for everyone, and we'll see how you get on at Ruapuna next week.
Yeah, cheers guys.
Right, thanks for coming in. We'll
see you next week.
Later.
Cheers, see yous.
Now we have one final person, Keyboard Blondie. I don't think we've had in the comms box before, so I'll just get them in here now. Keyboard Blondie, hello.
Hello.
So how was that race for you? How were those 2 races?
First race was okay. I finished 13th. It was normal start, but I made a mistake at the very end of the first lap, and from that point I finished where I expected my pace actually is. But the second race was very lucky for me. I was getting through all the crashes in the first lap.
Yeah.
And at the third lap, I got clear my back as well. And then it was quite quiet and easy race.
Yeah, a great P6 finish in that second race, so it's good to see you up there. So, have you raced much of these Formula Cs before?
No, it's first time. I'm playing project cars since December, so I don't have that much experience with different cars. But yeah, I feel them. They are interesting. They are a bit oversteery, and that's what I like in the cars.
Yeah, you seem to adapted really well tonight, considering you have got you've only been racing for about what 6 months.
Yep.
On project cars. Yeah, you seem to adapt pretty well.
Yeah, I was playing with brake bias in practice and went down to even 40 with stable setup, and then you have to drive differently. You have to go very deep into the corner and try to do it like rally style, like sideways a bit.
Yeah, we saw a few people drifting it round. Yogurt especially was getting quite sideways in these cars, which just seems to be the way you have to drive them. Looking forward, anything on the calendar that you're looking forward to this season?
I think there are many very great tracks. The Hockenheim is one which I tend to have good results.
We'll look forward to seeing you at Hockenheim then. But any last comments? Any last words? It's okay if you don't have any.
I think it was a great race, and everyone was, apart from first lap, everyone was going very clean, and also actually I think that the pace is very close in the races.
Yeah, for a track like Barcelona, there's a lot more overtaking than I was expecting tonight, so it seems like it's going to be a very good season given everyone's similar pace in the midfield.
Yeah, I think if you take out maybe 3 or 4 of the top people, then anyone could be picking up like from 5th downwards. It could be like it's the pack is so close. It could be literally anyone.
Yeah, it was in the first race as well. Like first half of the race is everyone very close, and anything can happen in such situations. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us in the comms box. We look forward to seeing you next week on track at Ruapuna.
Yep, see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay, that's going to be the end of the stream. Thanks for watching if you're still around, and we will see you next week at Ruapuna Park GP, 8 PM UK time, wherever that is in the world for you. Any last words, JP?
I just want to say that tonight, like I knew the season was going to be great, but tonight has got me absolutely hyped for the season. Because Barcelona, I didn't think there's going to be that many overtakes, and I thought that the commentary might be a bit slacking tonight. But there was just so much action tonight, and I think, like looking at some of the tracks that we're going to, I think it's like this season will definitely be worth watching. I really do. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have to agree. Barcelona, known as a track where not much overtaking happens, mainly in Formula 1, but also in other cars as well. It's just a really hard track to find a place to overtake, but they made it happen tonight, and some really great racing, really close and clean racing. And look forward to seeing that at Ruapuna next week.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's going to wrap up the stream today. I've been Kiki Mac. This has been JP McKinley. You've been watching the AOR Formula C pre-season race at Barcelona, and we'll see you next week at Ruapuna. Goodbye.
See you next week, guys. Bye.